All right, we have gone live. We are back and ready to start another Sound Goblin story time here on Sound Goblin Gaming as we continue our playthrough of Paranormasight, the Seven Mysteries of Hanjo. I am, as always, Bograt.
I'm the Krampus.
I'm sure.
I'm Hunter Grain.
And I'm Vincent.
And last time around, we made it to daybreak. And only inconsequential people died. So yeah, we made it to the daybreak, but however, we got the warning from the infamous killer that had taken, been on a killing spree in the past in this town, that he has the one-sided reed curse stone, and if our detective here cannot stop him by nightfall, he will kill hundreds of people in this town, is what he has claimed. So where we're at right now, we can't actually advance anymore on the housewife story because we need to do stuff in the other ones first. It is fuzzed out. So we'll just go ahead and get started with Yako here. So last time around, Yako waited for a little bit outside of the school, but did not, basically had to leave before she could see that Mio got out safely, but made it home and stayed there until daybreak. But looks like Mio made it out all right. Because we notably did not mention to the killer, who is definitely not the school janitor, that she was in there waiting for us dealing with something there. Yeah, so notably, Mio did not really gain any further information and couldn't actually get rid of the curse echo that was happening, but at least didn't get killed by it this instant. So yeah, this was also briefly brought up on the Tsutsuma side of things when he was talking about the Paranormal Affairs Division and that they have help from psychics, and he specifically brought up one that was like an intern. He was actually talking about Mio.
Really, she's an apprentice to their head of their organization, a man who only speaks via bird.
I think she actually is. I don't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure that is actually her master.
That makes sense.
Well, because I seem to remember that she mentioned the master at one point, and then we learned that that person was supernatural.
Yeah, it's why she like works for them, but for no money, is because she's his apprentice.
Curstone says you're stinky. Not sure you can be trusted, Yako. You tried to use it.
I'm gonna be honest. If she manages to successfully use her curse, she deserves it. With how much of a fucking pain in the ass her curse specifically is. Like, as compared to like fucking has a lighter in their pocket or walks away from me
Or
Or
lies.
hears voice.
or is in the dark.
Hears voice, the one we only get around by cheating.
Or, hey, look over there, I'll snap your neck. Fuck, the non-curses are easier to kill people with.
Yeah. Yep, so now we get some information about Yako's house, the candy shop Sonoya, old-fashioned candy shop located on a street corner in Hanjo. It's been in Yako Sakazaki's family for 3 generations. On the weekends, you can spot Yako watching over the store, cooking manjiaki, and playing traditional tops and card games with local children. The traditional candy shops are known for selling cheap cheese for kids. It is not uncommon to see these largely privately owned businesses become something more like general stores, selling food, drinks, utensils, and other daily necessities. Many families operate candy shops on the dirt ground floor of their home, known as a doma, with a space in the back where customers can eat the manjiaki, as well as arcade games and capsule toy machines in the front. Such facilities make them attractive places for children to gather and play. However, the harsh reality is that traditional candy shops thrived during the period of high economic growth when many confectionery manufacturers entered the market, are experiencing a steady decline due to the rise of convenience stores and changes in children's interests and tastes. If you have interest in these kinds of shops and want to see sort of what few of them still really remain and kind of what their vibe is all about, I highly recommend checking out some of the earlier seasons of Game Center CX. Arino actually did a whole segment every show for several seasons where he actually traveled around Japan to a lot of like these old style candy and game shops and like checked out like what games they had there, schmoozed with the owners, stuff like that. It's really actually interesting, really kind of a fascinating thing. It's not really something we have like an analog for in American culture and never really did. It would be like think about like a mom and pop Chuck E. Cheese, basically, like a very small kind of thing like that, where they have just like maybe a couple arcade games, a couple like maybe like like a pinball or something like that, and then just a bunch of like candy and sodas and stuff that they sell. Like you get like the ice creams and get like the oh, the stick has a star on it, you get a free ice cream, that kind of stuff.
I remember that being a thing for Tootsie Pops when I was a kid. They'd always
Yeah,
say,
you
if
have
you
a
get a
star on
star
the
just
wrapper.
sticker.
Yep.
I was like, oh, you get a free candy. Where?
The candy van, of course. Just go up to the candy van, show them their
I-
wrapper.
I-
You can go inside. Get your free candy.
I was never lucky enough to have a candy van in my neighborhood.
That's a shame.
Oh no, Mr. Jonoichi died. Whatever will we do? Definitely didn't mention to the janitor that he was there on the second floor. Who was absolutely certainly not the killer.
There's no way the nice janitor could be the killer.
Yeah, I mean, his profile even says he's laid back and all the kids kind of like him. That, by the way, does provide an answer. Something that came up at the tail end of last stream where we finished out the night. When it was giving sort of the summations of the events of that first night, it mentioned that 3 bodies were discovered, but at the time we only knew of 2 of them. Mr. Jonoichi is the 3rd.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's also actually why, in the long run, because of the way that the story is built, and specifically like that dialogue of there being 3 bodies discovered, that's why we can't actually successfully use our curse on any character on the first night.
It's also interesting that only 3 bodies were discovered, because the detective makes a specific note that the guy with the foot washing curse already had soul dregs in his thing.
You realize people can be dead without
Yeah.
their bodies being discovered, right?
Yeah, I know. It means that there's a number of bodies out there that weren't hidden, and he doesn't seem like the sharpest head to
It might
hide
be
bodies.
because you know how the curses kill in various ways. With the walk away curse is basically they drown. It might be a side effect of how this curse works.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, the foot washing mansion specifically like crushes their body.
Oh, okay.
So like it could very easily be passed off. It's like, oh, they fell or they got hit by a car or whatever. It was 3 anomalous bodies, like a dude being drowned in the middle of a park nowhere near a body of water.
Okay.
Also, the detective is explicitly part of a paranormal investigation division, so he's probably not all that weirded out by weird, unexplained deaths.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, but Krampus was talking more about the mid text we got, which was not from a given character's perspective. Specifically said that 3 bodies were found that night. Now we have the update on Kohei Jonoichi. His deceased body was discovered on the school grounds at dawn. We also got the update from last time that he was seen alone with Hitomi Okuda in a classroom late at night by Yako and Neo.
I feel like there was also one other thing that came up in our conversation that raised suspicion on him, even if he hadn't gone down the other routes and got the suspicion on him from the housewife. Specifically, the bio and his conversation called out that he puts cigarettes in his mouth, but notably does not carry a light.
Yeah. What the fuck is his... Well, I can't remember what his fake name is. I remember his... Ashimiya? Yeah, Ashimiya.
Sorry, no, it's not in here, but it was specifically one of the conversation things that
Yeah, it comes up. He just has it, but it's not lit.
He always has a cigarette in his mouth, but he never lights it. She questions him as to why he doesn't have a lighter. He's like, fire's dangerous, kid.
First over there, they must be important because they're not a shadow man.
Sorry, brief pause there. As several of us check on various Discord responsibilities we have. This is actually a pretty interesting bit of backstory here. Comes up as Mio says that Hitomi owes her for something, and what? She owes you? It's like, yeah. So right after Mio transferred, bit of trouble, and Mio performed an exorcism on Hitomi. For more on this, watch Triple X Holic. It is basically the backstory of the main character. Yeah, so again, this is a pretty common like urban folklore thing in Japan about like people get haunted by bad spirits and that can cause, actual physical health problems. Yeah, so sometimes if a spirit is possessing someone that they're very close to, they can even replace their personality, like truly take them over. But yeah, it's very rare. I'm definitely not pointing this out for significant reasons.
It's very rare. Generally translates to absolutely happened.
But yeah, basically when the spirit possessing the person and the person themselves are not really in sync is when you start getting the headaches and illness and all that kind of stuff.
Stomach, diarrhea.
Yeah, because basically the idea is that like the two souls are essentially fighting against each other and it's causing physical ailments. I was just saying there are some people that actually do this job that can essentially work as a true conduit and essentially subsume themselves to let the spirit through, but most of them are not.
I am clearly possessed by that parasite that makes you want to pet cats.
Clearly, we, the player, are a vengeful spirit who's possessing people.
being able to see spirits is a pain in the ass. Hey, if we trained you could probably see spirits.
Yeah, it really sold me on that.
Hey kid, want to see a dead spirit?
I do like this line where Mia's just like, listen, man, no matter how much I try and tell people, like, look, you're possessed by an evil spirit, it's not like they fucking understand anyway, so I just stopped bothering.
That's fair. Just, yay, a crazy person talked to me about me being possessed by a spirit. Clearly, I'll let them do an exorcism on them and not think they're batshit crazy.
So Hitomi actually witnessed Mr. Jonoichi die. Sometime around 3 a.m. Lost his shit, ran out into the school grounds screaming. Mentioned to Michio. It was dark, so she couldn't see if there was anyone there, but for a second she thought she saw a girl in a school uniform with her hair in braids. Which, just in case we were forgetting, Ichio had braids. Then his arms and legs snapped. And Hitomi took the time-honored path of shit sucks, hit the bricks. Perfectly understandable and reasonable reaction.
Yes, tell the police the story about how you saw a man's bones explode.
Yeah, I was there when he died, but no, I didn't do it. Yeah, you're going to tell me that down
Yeah,
in the
he
station.
was just standing there and all of his bones broke. I don't know what happened.
Sounds like a Bonomancer.
Also, Hitomi's got it right there. Can't
Yeah.
The
count on them.
osteomancer.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
Fair-
that's osteomancer. Right?
yeah, Paranormasight says all cops are bastards.
Yeah.
Rogue Osteomancers. Alright, does anyone live for a boneless blob?
Yeah, so here we get to Toby talking a little bit more about the officer who died that we knew about, that had been working with her.
Even though I know it's not going to be the case, I kind of want, like, one of these random people who died to actually just be a vengeful spirit killing people entirely unrelated to the current stuff. What was that one? Oh no, Michio just wanted to kill him. He was killed by anyone at the card town.
Just a murder go. That feels positively mundane comparatively.
Like, it would just be an interesting wrench to throw in, so you're trying to figure out how this works. It's like, no, that was just a straight up ghost. That just killed someone that's entirely unrelated.
They do that.
Yeah, and Totomi's basically saying, like, yeah, everyone who's close to me just ends up dying, so maybe I am really possessed. And Mio's like, yeah, it's not what the spirit that was possessing you is doing.
No. Didn't you realize how often you had irritable bowel syndrome? That's what your ghost did.
Ah, the poo ghost. A pootergeist.
Because possessed, you just really want you to read shonen manga. That's it.
I died before finishing Dragon Ball.
Pretty sure the time period this is Dragon Ball hadn't finished.
Yeah, so if you'll remember, Michio's death was she was basically found in the middle of the street with, like, all of her fucking bones shattered. They assumed she had jumped off of a building, hence why they thought it was a suicide. Like, that's her foot there by her wrist, just so we are clear. She is what is called, in the coroner's office, turbo fucked.
Did you think she's gonna survive? God, I hope not.
And yeah, this is where it is explicitly brought up, because Yako's like, do you think she was killed by the same curse that got Mr. Jonoichi? And Mio's like, the curses weren't around then, Yako. Like,
Yeah, I'm really curious about how the answers for that's going to be.
oh, about how Michio died?
Yeah.
We might find out today. I will tell you this much. It is not really a super late game thing where you find that out. Yeah, so we'd seen the two of them in the classroom last night, and it's like, what were you two doing there? Gonna fucking snitch? Shink! And yeah, because Potomi has a reputation as being kind of a delinquent and whatnot.
Don't make assumptions.
Yeah, we've kind of previously established that Mr. Jonovich is kind of a piece of shit.
I think they just continue where we're.
Nope.
It's because they sort of. Yeah, so now we get actual information about the actual direct connection between Mr. Jonoichi and Michio. We obviously know there was something going on there, but. See an awful lot of people the night they die, Hitomi.
Maybe she is cursed.
Sure, she wasn't possessed by a murder ghost.
But he had a talisman, and it turns out that Ichiyo Shiraishi also had a talisman like that. Yeah, so ghosts are real. Usually can't kill people.
So alternately, there's absolutely nothing supernatural going on in this game, and everything was played away with flashlights and paper clips.
Oh, what you didn't see was actually a high tensile fishing wire wrapped around all of his limbs. Was pulled from off camera and snapped his bones.
No, it was three guys in those like solid black Sentai suits with hammers.
This really crazy action scene, but since everyone in this game can only see it like 1 frame per second.
You're not as much of a bitch as I thought you were.
It's like 50-50. You were just near me and talking to me for a while, and people near me died, so...
Bye. She was real nice, right, Mio? Mio's lying there with all her arms and legs broken. Three guys with Sentai suits with hammers running away.
I mean, you were there.
So now we're given a whole bunch of options of places to go. Start from the bottom up, I guess. Like, the one place you would think is, oh, well, we need to go somewhere where somebody would know where he's going to be is the school, but we already know the school is closed, so. But as you can see,
Yep.
upon where we go, a little scene of them standing there looking around. But we really have no idea. Well, so here's the thing. We actually know something about this. If we come in here to the profile on Araishi, we actually get a thing in here that he's a regular at the Kurukikyo Cafe on Hokusai Street, where he can be found outside his work hours writing essays and manuscripts. The thing is, they don't know that. They need to run into the person who does know that. Clearly, we've got to go back home to Yako's house.
I think we need to run into the detective because I think the detective found that out.
That is correct. The Tsutsuma is the one that actually found out from Araishi where he usually is. I'm just gonna go here because I like the little scenes, but
Oh yeah.
So they went. Disgusting,
I
filthy
presume
river.
we need to do the detective side so we can put them in a place where these girls.
other way around, actually.
We have to put them in a location. And
We
then
have to
go
put
back.
so we actually have to put them at the school, so that when we're on the detective side and we go to the school, they'll be there. You were on the right track. It is actually coming at it from the opposite side.
That is interesting. That I'm guessing it's the last place you have them is where.
No, it has to be the school.
Well, I mean specifically, like if you have.
Oh yeah. If you don't put them at the school, they will not be at the school when you go there on the detective side. It's just from the detective side, we don't have the other options of places to go to.
Yeah.
Basically, they find out about Junoichi's death and go to like investigate it, as we'll see here in a second.
Did you also bring coffee? We've been up a while.
So yeah, they got the body out of here, but the park is being closed to the public. Now in the light of day, the park looks fine. It was really fucking creepy last night.
There is something that we saw in the first stream that I'm wondering if we're going to get any answer for. The weird lights that the first character saw.
Yeah, we know about that one.
I mean, that's one of the curses.
Yeah, the lights that follow the disappear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But we don't know who's
We
thinking
just
of
didn't
it.
follow them because why the fuck would you follow the
Yeah,
murder?
it's literally the beckoning light.
Yeah.
Might spot a hazy lantern light up ahead, despite there being no one around. Following it will cause it to go out suddenly when getting near, but just when one fears the darkness might swallow them up, another light will appear further ahead, as if guiding them once to see it. Some say the flame is benevolent, leading people to their homes, while others believe it is a monster leading people astray. Some even believe it's the vengeful spirit of someone that died, luring the lost to the land of the dead. So we don't actually have the full story yet. We don't know the actual, tragic event and the trigger and all that. But that is absolutely 100% the beckoning light. I didn't approach during that because it's nothing interesting happens. You just kind of fucking die, and then it's like, hey, you died.
Fair.
Yeah, 3 mysterious deaths, including the one in the park. We got Shogo Okie, 25 years old, regular office worker who worked around here, died of asphyxiation due to water in the lungs, i.e., he drowned. He was in the middle of the park. Now, as we know, this park is associated with the Whispering Canal. It came up like 50,000 times in the prologue.
Yep.
So a body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamizawa. Kawako Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong external force.
Yep.
A murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, it was something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. She was stepped on, meaning the foot washing mansion. So there's your answer, by the way, Krampus. Is yes, he did kill somebody. That was one of the mysterious bodies.
Okay. The way that the detective had been talking, it sounded like there had been more than a few in there, but it sounds like now it's just saying, no, this is just one regular person died.
Also, we knew for the fact that he'd killed someone with it because when asked,
He said when he said he hadn't
Yeah,
used
yeah.
it, he was detected as lying.
Yep.
Third victim is Kohei Jonoichi, who you just found out all about. External trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Found in the middle of the courtyard. He couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building.
I don't know this one.
It's the Fool's Procession. It's
right.
literally the one Yako has.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you'll remember, the actual story behind the Fool's Procession was about somebody falling from a tower.
Yep.
All 3 of the mysterious victims could be tied to the 7 mysteries. But we also know that Yako is the one with the Fool's Procession Curse Stone and didn't manage to pull it off on Mr. Jonoichi.
Of course not.
Hear the sound of drums for 30 seconds and not be noticed. Now we're talking about him, except the timing didn't match up because he was died before the curses existed. And yeah, this is what I was talking about last stream, that curses can be done by powerful practitioners without the curse stone. It's the curse stone and the Feast of Shadows allows people who are not powerful like Onmyoji to exercise curses.
Fucking.
There is definitely the possibility that the deaths before this thing all kicked off were caused by a powerful practitioner, or potentially the one who did the.
Yeah, may have even been part of the ritual to kick off the Feast of Shadows. Like, who knows? And yeah, we kind of knew about this because when we first learned of the Feast of Shadows, we were essentially told like it makes it more powerful at night. Yeah, so now we actually just have a sort of quick reference for known curse bearers. Now, obviously, we have a little bit more information than Tsutsumi does, specifically because, we actually have been from the perspective of, Yako and Rue. So we actually know that Yako has the full procession and Harue has the haunting clappers, which Tsutsumi does not. Tsutsumi, however, has 3 curse stones presently because he took the ones from Namagaki and Araishi. So
Of the 7, we know 6 of the curse bearers and don't know 3 of them.
Yes,
correct.
that maths.
Also, important note that there are 9 on that sheet.
Yes, I
Yes.
know.
There are, in fact,
Might be gameplay guide. 'Cause that was where the other red dot was on the top of the screen.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, there are, in fact, 9 on here because, as we know, there are 7,
Seven-ish.
9, possibly up to 15 mysteries of Hanjo. The point I was making over here is when we come over here to the 7 mysteries one,
21.
you may notice there's an entry 21, which is currently question mark. Also, we don't have a number 1 on here. Well, it's not that we don't have it. These are all, they're not numbered
Yes.
by category. But yes, number 21 is also, because the 7 mysteries thing starts at 2. Then we have the 9 mysteries, and then whatever this is. This game is so funny. And yeah, kind of the deal is like, as they were saying, we know that, like, for the most part, the daytime is safe because the curses can't be activated during the day. Except also because the curses can't be activated during the day, it's going to be harder to find the curse bearers during the day because it's like,
They won't be active.
at night, especially it being the first night when the curses first went active, it was totally reasonable to be like, okay, let's go to the places associated with the mysteries. There's a decent chance they're still around there. And that's actually how they ended up finding a few of them. But now it's like,
At this point, they could be anywhere. Won't really be active trying to kill people.
like, it's a reasonable expectation just based on what they know that they will still be in Honjo, but aside from that, like, who fucking knows? Yeah, the basic course of action they decide upon is, well, let's focus on tracking down Nejima because that may lead us to information on the other curse bearers anyway. And then also, like, Tatsumi just kind of feels like there's probably a connection to Yoshimi somehow. And so that's also worth sort of tracking down. So Yoshimi was investigating Michio's suicide, which we kind of knew about from the conversation we just had with Hitomi. But Yoshimi did not actually necessarily believe that it was a suicide. Kind of the same thing that Yako was on about. He had ordered a full investigation to be done. Told to knock it the fuck off.
Fucking cops.
So yeah, basically the report that Yoshimi had about Michio is that the injuries she sustained could have been, something with a flat face, like a big truck or whatnot, traveling at high speed, could easily have dealt the same kind of damage.
Saying she got isekai'd.
Yeah, there were no evidence of brake marks or tire tracks on the road at all. So if she did get hit, they weren't slowing down at all. They just went straight fucking through. Yeah, there's a possibility that if Yoshimi was following along this line and it was some sort of cover-up, that whoever was doing the cover-up may have killed Yoshimi, keep him quiet, except that he had already brought this stuff up to forensics in the traffic bureau, so, wouldn't have been a great cover-up. Already sort of on their radar. So it makes it even more sort of mysterious and questionable what's going on there. But Ario did get Michio's address. That is a place we could go potentially to investigate. Let's find information on Hitomi. As Hitomi mentioned to Mio and Yako, she doesn't really go home at all. She spends a bunch of time at her friend's place. Also got information about Yoshimi's fiance, Mayo Chozawa, who works as a beautician in the area. Community Safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Now we have the file on Mayu. Petition and the fiance of Hajime Yoshimi, police officer with the Sumida Police Department. Her current whereabouts remain unknown. Now, there's a possibility that Mayu may have been the one that killed Yoshimi and then ran off to go into hiding, but it's also possible, as Tatsumi points out here, that somebody may be after her if they were coming after Yoshimi. So we still don't really know why he was killed. It's not really a concern for them. HQ is already looking for her. Not anything that Ario and Tatsumi really need to follow up about. Nejima vacated his last known address a week ago. Obviously, that's the thing. The whole thing that was brought up last time was the whole, giving parole to people that had committed horrible crimes, maybe giving them a new identity, setting them up with a job, whatever. They set him up with a job working in a factory. He was not set up with the job being a janitor. Yeah. School. He was only there for a month before he quit. Somehow it slipped through the cracks. Nobody on the parole office or anything. Yes, his probation officer would visit him at home and do interviews and stuff, but never actually checked in on him at work to find out if he was still working there. And then at some point Nejima moved and he lost track of him. Social commentary. Nejima got to fuck around unsupervised. God damn it. There are so many fucking lines from Tatsumi that you could just hear in the Dr. Venture voice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's the thing too, right? Is we pretty much at this point know that Ashimiya is Nejima.
What?
But obviously he's not dumb enough for that to be the identity they gave him when they let him out on parole.
Imagine the twist if he wasn't. All of us that were led to believe this, it's looking perfectly like a setup. It's just, no, he's just some other asshole with a curse
Like I said, unrelated vengeful ghost.
Yeah.
Listen, there was an incident, some things happened, now she never wants to talk to me again. You know how kids are.
Have they said his daughter's name yet?
No.
I'm really hoping it's the girl from the prologue. I've already forgotten her name, though.
Called him her former father. Like, what the hell is that supposed to mean?
Call someone else daddy now.
You know, as a member of the Paranormal Bureau, I can just shoot you and say you were possessed, right? Enemy user's stand has a near infinite range. Yeah, we can either go to Komagata High School to look into Hitomi Okuda or Michio Shiraishi's house to find out more about her.
It's sushi.
Now we do have access to the next part of Harue's, but we may as well continue on this line. It's really, that last one was just kind of filling in a bunch of background information as to where we go from here with Tsutsumi. Yeah, we end up with only these two options. So that's why the overlap is we had to get the girls to Komagata High School because Tsutsumi...
It's the only place they'll be
Yeah,
going.
Tsutsumi and Aria are not going to any of the other locations they were going to. So, like, I only knew that because, obviously, I have played this before. It is not a circumstance wherein, like, normally what you would do is you would just, like, try and go to all the locations, kind of like I did with the girls. See that, oh, literally none of these actually advance the story. Fine, I'll go to the one other story option I have, and that will give me some hint. Like, even if you didn't necessarily do this part where you get the map with them and see that the high school is one of them, they do outright say, like, oh, we should go to the high school to investigate Hitomi.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, obviously the girls should go to the high school then, because that's where it interacts with other stuff. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
Well, it's a kind of truck.
Yeah, truck gun. Sends people to the worlds where they need to be. Sticker.
Mockingbird number 6. The illegal eagle.
Somebody in localization had way too much fun with this.
Everybody's heard. Bird is the word.
That is literally a timed thing. If you just sit there for like 30 seconds, he will just pop back. So yeah, nobody's at home at the Shiraishi household. No signs of activity inside when looking through the windows. And it seems like they've been gone for a little while. Well, nothing much to do there. So we may as well head to the high school. So, if you have not moved the girls to here, they are not standing here, and all you can do is kind of do the little looks around, and then if you like talk to Ario a couple times, he basically says like, "Well, there's not really anybody here we could talk to much about it. Like we could talk to the patrol officer, guarding the gates, but he's not going to have any more information. If only there was someone that might know something more around."
Of course, he's not going to have any information. Just a shadow.
Give me a second, Ario. I'm looking for bird stickers. I actually don't remember where most of them are, so.
Polling place, evacuation center, slides in half to reveal a robot hangar.
We get a whole report on juvenile delinquency. The midpoint of the show era saw a marked increase in delinquency among young people. Some of them even had yo-yos and rocket launchers. A wave of violent incidents targeting teachers, as well as students and often involving weapons, like yo-yos and rocket launchers, consumed the nation's middle and high schools. Both Suzuku motorcycle gangs also enjoyed their heyday around this time. Japanese arrest rates reached a historical peak during this period, and pompadour Yankees and female Sukeban, sometimes with yo-yos and rocket launchers, delinquents became a common sight on the streets. This youth rebellion is often framed as a reaction to universal education policy or the pressure of highly competitive entrance exams, and sometimes military training, but its causes are likely manifold, extending far beyond the deficiencies of the education system.
Could be referencing anything.
Yeah.
I do seems really. Yeah, let's do it.
Well, because as you may expect, he recognizes Mio. Yeah, so ideally we could talk to somebody who was involved in the incident. Easier said than done, though. But if the girls aren't here, there's literally nobody to actually talk to. I do!
Uh-uh. 1, 2, 3.
You there, girls, come inside to the active crime scene. The forensics is currently investigating.
One way to put it.
Just but Amy, no.
Hey, I'm on board with Banger.
Now about these murderers.
I want a car.
Rude.
Yeah, she works for the guy that only shows up in the office via his bird. Yeah, if you try to actually talk to Yako and Satsumi, she's just like, you should talk to Mio. I don't know you, stranger danger.
I don't talk to cops.
Birds around here.
Laugh at the.
It's just a bird in the middle of the.
Yeah.
Yeah, like- I know this one. It's the guy from the Jamiroquai album covers.
Oh, it's not as gross as that that other girl. Her leg was like bent like next to her head. It was really gruesome.
Squint your eyes a little. It kind of looks like the Hatchet Man.
Yeah, basically the justification he gives is like we didn't want to actually talk out there where there were just like random people wandering around and looking and whatnot. And also, Mio might be able to make something of the crime scene. Yeah, so a lot of this is kind of recap stuff. Basically, no.
Yeah, it's just 9-ish.
15,
15.
35,
21?
11, 42,
Hike.
pi.
Listen,
You're treating us to pie?
listen. How many Seven Mysteries there are depends on how many sequels the series gets.
Now it could be at a completely different location and therefore have its own set of mysteries of
Yeah, it's
Random
a set
numbers.
of 7 mysteries of also
The
number-
V3
number but
Mysteries of
7.
Hanjo.
Stop that. Stop that. Thank you, Yako.
Yeah, Tsutsumi is actually willing to let Yako hang on to the Fool's Procession, both because A, it's daytime, and it's not like she can do anything with it anyways, and also she's with Mio, who he basically trusts. So,
Shut up, Adachi. I mean, Ario. The one-sided read.
God damn it,
You're a
Ario.
fucking
Try to
idiot.
keep up. I'm gonna crush your fucking head, you moron. Jesus Christ, Ario. Who let you out of the academy?
Getting paired with you is the real curse.
Clearly, Nejima is one of these two girls. Wait.
Io takes off the wig. It's like 2 feet taller, turns into a man.
Oh, sorry, I was slouching.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with Ario?
Yeah, so this is where we relay the information that he's at the cafe.
School's not in session. I will look the other way.
I'm gonna write you this one Dr. Venture pass to do whatever the heck you want. I've held on to mine my entire life.
School rules say we're not allowed to go to cafes. I'll arrest your fucking principal. I don't care.
Jabbing the principal in the side with a nightstick.
I'm a detective with the First Division. I've arrested people because they didn't put enough mustard on my sandwich before. Fuck them.
Really heinous crime.
Clearly, she's Nejima.
You said that Yoshimi wasn't going to let the robots eat her.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Practicing karate. How the hell should I know?
do seem like the only decent cops in the city.
Well, the only living ones.
Oh, fair.
I see, we tried labeling them all spooky shit cases, and they just kind of got tossed in the bin every time we passed by anyone's desk.
I'm just gonna be disappointed if the bird doesn't talk like H. John Benjamin.
One guy finds out curses are real, and all of a sudden, every murder is from a ghost. Jesus Christ, Ario.
Of course he wasn't there.
Well, that would have been bad, wouldn't it?
I mean, you did in another timeline.
I help those who help themselves.
Giant extended arm just pulls itself back through the screen. Oh, I guess it's another mystery of Hanjo. No, don't say that. Curses updated.
Damn it.
I'm freaking out. Right, excuse me for a minute, boss. I'm gonna go check with the guys in the van, see if I can get a couple punches in on the corpse.
We gotta stop calling it that.
Seeing some shit.
Yep, he's dead.
A sticker of a bird?
I am amused that Tsutsumi's like shocked pose is my head is so full of fuck.
Completely unrelated Revenge Ghost.
Just imagine her rolling around with her broken arms and legs, flopping on the ground like, now you fucked up. The flopping ghost.
Gonna create another new mystery of Honjo. The mystery of the speeding van.
So something that says the Rite of Resurrection can't happen more than once, right?
No.
Yeah. That's what I'm going off of, is this has to have happened once before. There's too many coincidences of bodies showing up with curse-like death wounds. Not have happened at least once before.
Well, like we know that like powerful practitioners can do
Yeah.
curses on people, so you could invoke any of these curses to kill somebody without the curse stones.
Yeah.
But there is now like
Also, I mean, if you're counting Michio as one of the people that died with curse-like death wounds, she got hit by a van.
Yeah. No, the only person that we've got who has died suspiciously prior to this is the police officer.
Yoshimi, and honestly, that could have just been a fucking heart attack for all we know.
But,
Like,
but if we go with the theoretical concept that, or go with the idea that the Rite of Resurrection can happen multiple times, there is the possibility that he was killed by Michio,
yeah.
Yeah.
who had just been brought back to life and then also got a curse somehow and killed him. Like, we don't know if there's potential drawbacks or anything like that to doing the Rite of Resurrection, or et cetera, et cetera.
This is just Mio just basically saying, like, if she is back alive, it's kind of fucked up that she's using her second chance at life on revenge.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm with her.
Just from, like, a spiritual element is all Mio's really saying.
Yeah, no, I get where she's coming from, but I also like, yeah, slay.
Literally.
Literally. I don't use slang. I'm telling you, slay.
Yeah, so the next steps for Tsutsumi and Ario is looking more for Nejima and also trying to find Mayu, Yoshimi's fiance. However, there was the note there of like, oh, we should maybe check around Michio's house. But as you can see, we're already actually done on that one.
I feel like we've been lied to. There was no fancy sushi at all.
No, that
There's a
was
promise
the
of
reference
fancy
to
sushi.
Promise of fancy sushi.
Those girls deserve fancy sushi.
Fancy sushi, once this investigation is done, assuming they're still alive.
They better. They deserve it.
And as you can see, we have another fuzzed out one again. So we have more stuff we have to do before we can do more with Tsutsumi.
Back to our friend Richter Kai.
Richter Kai, investigator extraordinaire. So you can see that this one is a little bit later timeline wise. This is 10 a.m. where the others were about 8 a.m., 9 a.m. ish.
Some people actually got some decent sleep, apparently.
It looks like now they've hit the day. It's broader than like 1 hour chunk, like it seems.
Well, it still is sort of 1 hour chunks. It's just that the lines between them are kind of longer because like this one is offset is ahead of where the ones that were 8 a.m., 9 a.m. ish. But they're also not a distinct timeline. They're not like really divided up that exactly, which is also why there's not actually times along the top. They're just sort of the day to night kind of thing. Give me a second. I need to see if any bird stickers appeared overnight.
under the brim of his hat.
Or sticker on his belt buckle.
Turns out these aren't actually curses. These are just hallucinations from all the pollution.
Curse stones are bullshit. Everything is being done by the bird stickers.
Well, we have to collect them all so we can seal them away.
Yeah, there were only 3 mysterious deaths last night.
None of them are burned to a crisp, so we know it's not you. Yeah, I know, slacking.
And no one died by food poisoning, so we know it's not the mystery of how this Wendy's keeps staying in business. Set up a mannequin in the middle of the park, just says "curse me" on it.
Foolproof. Who could resist?
So yeah, that's kind of an interesting theory from Richter that he's presenting here.
There's an additional
That the mastermind, the one who set off set off the Feast of Shadows, and is kind of prompting all this stuff, is not actually a curse bearer themselves. Because if they were a curse bearer, that means they would be a target for other curse bearers, like a really obvious one. Good to see you've gathered all the soul dregs necessary for the rite of resurrection in your curse stone, the Evergreen Beach. Unfortunately for you, I have the 8th mystery of Hanjo, this 38 special.
Yeah, I was gonna say my curse.
Bang! My rite of resurrection now, motherfucker.
Yeah, my curse stone came from a 3D printer.
My curse stone is proven. It took out Shinzo Abe.
Ooh.
not a soul dragon.
But yeah, so Richter basically figures that the mastermind is also essentially waiting for somebody to amass enough soul dregs to do the right and then in some way get their soul stone from them, or the curse stone from them. So it's up to them, since they also don't want to kill anybody but want to get the right. Whether by stealing the stone or just, paying the person to do it for them.
Just gather all 7 asterisk curse stones, and you can summon the eternal dragon. Wait.
So Richter got some more information on a couple of the people he suspected of being curse bearers.
That is an actual JoJo pose.
Oh yeah. No, they're not subtle about Richter Kai. So we have confirmed specifically that Ayane is not actually a curse bearer.
I lied to get information. How it works. Made that shirt of his into an actual full-blown coat, he would also be a Castlevania protagonist. Already got the name.
Richter's a monk.
Yes.
Yeah, so he also found out the identity of Takumi, who's the secretary to the chairwoman soap company, the guy who fucking killed Shogo in the prologue.
Back then, I hate to say that really hasn't changed that much. Laws that kind of prevent them to, not them saying, maybe we shouldn't pollute.
You only say that because you haven't met the guy. Araishi's a fucking wiener. There's no way he set off the Feast of Shadows.
More likely to have done it by accident than intention.
Yeah, so here's Richter just outright saying, like, yeah, Ichio and Yoshimi weren't killed by the curses, or at least not by the cursed stones, but, who the hell knows, like, what might be needed to actually activate these things. Like, even if they weren't killed by the curses as part of the rite of resurrection, gathering soul dregs, they could still be related. Even if Michio was just hit by a van. Did they utilize the energy of her soul being sent to a fantasy world to trigger the Feast of Shadows? All right, so now we have some options where we can go. We can go to Midoricho Park, go to South Border City Street, or we can go to Kamigata High School. So, nothing you can really do in Midoricho Park. South Watergasui Street, which is where the soap company is. So we actually get the file on Hyaku soaps now. They're a chemical producer that ranks 4th largest in the domestic detergent market and 7th largest in the cosmetics market. From its humble beginnings as a small soap factory established after the war in 1946, founder Natsuo Yamamori utilized her feminine perspective and a well-timed economic boom to boldly lead the company into new markets. Even as the market grew crowded with the industrialization of Sumida City, the company continued to expand, digging its roots deep into the area. In particular, it established itself as a household name by focusing its branding toward the rapidly expanding convenience store market. Its flagship products now include cosmetics, detergent, soap, shampoo, and more. The company's name Haku can also refer to a kusuri, a type of patterned fabric. And we got more information about Natsue. Worked at a textile factory. The factory was destroyed during the war. In order to make the fabric she had basically crafted something more suitable for blue-collar work, witnessing the rise in Western-style clothing. She left the textile industry. That's why it's called Hihaku, because it is the name for kusuri, a type of fabric featuring patterns and images woven with dyed fibers. Because she knew the soap that they used at the textile factory was shit, she set up a small soap factory to make better soaps. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she developed new products, which gained a good reputation. She ran an aggressive promotional campaign on TV featuring a popular Japanese singer, rapidly turning Hihaku soaps into a household name.
Dying there.
Yeah, so we pretty much already knew this. Like, we at least suspected it from the Shogo chapter. However, it's confirmed at this point that Takumi knows about the curses, but is not a curse bearer himself. Now, amusingly, this conversation is like sort of pointless because Takumi and Richter are both sort of in the same position wherein they are not actually curse bearers themselves. But, like, know about the curses. Yeah, as we remember from the file on her, there are rumors about her being a witch, which Takumi pretty much just confirmed here. That sort of ties into the conversation Harue and Richter were having, where they were like, maybe the rite of resurrection isn't even real. It's just something to entice the curse bearers into going on murder sprees.
I gave him the address and phone number of a local Domino's. I'd have believed 2 or 3. 6 is.
Yeah, this is kind of the point Richter is making. It's like, who the fuck's going to believe you have 6 of them? Come the fuck on.
Only 7 curses anyways, so. No way that they have everyone but ours.
Like, even knowing that the 7 mysteries is 9, 6 is, yeah, you already have 2/3 of them in one night? Bullshit.
All right, well, we've done everything we can do here. Still no point in going to Midoricho Park, so I guess we go to the high school. Generic vengeful ghost.
Surely not. Certainly is a face you got going there.
Ignore me! Alright, now we can also go to Ichio Shireishi's house. We got any of them bird stickers?
Didn't we already find the one around here?
Yeah. Fucking around.
Yeah, they could have shown up.
And Richter somehow does the thing that Ario and Tsutsumi didn't fucking think to do. Ask neighbors.
Talk to any neighbors? Yeah.
Now we actually have a profile on Kankichiro Iwai. Common law of Michio Shiraishi's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Kankichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi household a little over a year ago. Seems he has served some time in prison, but the details are unknown.
Did you tell me what you found out doing actual detective work that we should have been doing?
And that, honestly, seems like a pretty good place to call a stop for today.
Yep.
It's a nice cliffhanger moment where the stories are starting to converge. It's also why we have the fuzzed out situation here, because we actually have to do the Richter side of meeting the Tsutsumi and Ario. But yeah.
I do have a theory, and I don't know if I want to mention it now or wait till next session when it may be potentially revealed.
I think now is a good time, probably, just to let people think about it over the week.
I think that Yako is possessed by Michio.
Okay.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely got that from the vision she had.
Well,
Yeah,
after the vision, but we also, like, the death of the teacher was killed by a pigtailed girl who also used her curse stone.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, because he died by the means that you were killed from the fool's procession.
Yeah, from a as if he fell from a high.
She outright said she has the same ribbon that Michio had that they found at the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad.
Well, and based her whole when they were doing the seance with the spirit board, that gets interrupted by her getting a curse stone given to her, and they talk about how if you let your hands off the spirit board, let it get interrupted, you can be possessed by a spirit.
Yeah.
There's another aspect. When he was going home, when Mio meets her the next morning, comments that she doesn't remember.
When she fell asleep.
When she fell asleep.
Yeah.
And yeah. All right. So those are interesting thoughts to carry forward. Think about those for next week, and maybe we'll find out. Until then, we'll be back tomorrow with some more Poke Mondays as we continue playing Pokemon ZA. We'll be back on Thursday as we continue our first romp in Kamurocho through Yakuza 0. And right back here next Sunday, bright and early for the first. At first, we'll have another In Hindsight as we cover more information about 4th edition D&D, particularly the sort of lore aspect and information about that. And then right back here in the afternoon for more of Paranormasight, the 7 Mysteries of Honshu. Until then, I've been Bograt.
I've been Krampus.
Shiv.
I've been Hunter Green.
And I'm Vincent.
Have a good one, everyone.
Yep.